Okay, so these lectures, first we will do some extension for the topics we covered in the midterm exam. Then we will start to study the chapter for the money market derivatives. In the first part of these semesters, we study what is the balance of payment account. Right? In this account, we have the current account, financial account, and also the foreign reserve account. What is current account? Current account represents the sum of all recorded transactions in traded goods, right, service, income, and net transfer payments in a country's overall balance of payments. The trade goods, including, the consumer goods, and also the other agriculture goods and the other export and importing goods. The service, right, including the financial service and also the service you get, right, from the restaurant. Income, right? For example, you have the what? You have the some buying and selling the consumer goods, right? You got some gains, right? This is the income, right? Income is also recorded in the current account. Now we have the net transfer payments, right? So if a country in a financial crisis or in a natural disaster, right, we try to give them some foreign aid, right? We will do some foreign transfer, right, to this country. So all these accounts, right, all these, 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 account transactions has been done within a year, right? So this is all recorded on what? Current account. That means for the transactions is done within a year. Okay? Compare with our current account, we have our what? Financial account. Or you can see the what? The capital account, right? The financial and capital account reflect what? Financial flows. Financial flows, right? For example, if you purchase a stock from Japan, right, and you got some return, right, this return will be reflected in what? In a financial account. Also, if you buy a property, right, in London or Paris, right, and you have some rental income, right, and your mortgage interest, right, for purchase the foreign property, all this will be recorded in what? In the foreign account, right, in the foreign account. So that's what we studied before. But which account will be more influential to our foreign exchange rate? Be careful, right? Be careful. The investing and the financing decisions are directly relevant to what? To our cash flows, right? To our financial cash flows, right? So our investment and the financing decisions are more relevant to our exchange rate, right? Movements, right? And this in the short and the intermediate term, right? So that's why our financial account is more important to our what? Our determining of the exchange rate movement, right? Let me show you examples. For example, right, in the current account, right, we know we have some what? Export, right, and import, right? For example, we exporting the Ford, right, the cars, right, to the foreign country, and same times we also import what? We import the Toyota, right? Toyota from, Japan, right? So this is export, this is import, right? For export, right, we can get what? If we, get export the Ford, for example, to Japan, right? So Japan will pay our pay our dollars, right? And if you import Toyota, right, from the Japan, right? So you will pay what? You will pay the yen, right? So how can we do a settlement for these two transactions within a year? Right? Be careful, right? When we, doing the export, right, we receive the dollars, right? But these dollars we were holding on our what? Current account, right? So if we have the import, right, we will pay the money out, right? So let me do more detail for this one, right? When you export the Ford to Japan, right, for convenience, right, they will not pay you the dollars directly. They will pay you the yen because you also import the cars from them, right? So you will use what you receive in the yen, right, to pay what? To pay the money you will import from the Toyota from the Japan, right? So you can see our yen received from the export, right, will be also expanded, right, for the import, right? So the yen will be what? Will be first in and then come out, right? So remaining balance, right, will be reflected on our current account, right? So you can see for the current account with export and import, right, the cash flows, right, is one in, one out, right? So you see the money will be not holding too much on this account, right, after 1 year, right? So that's why our current account will not take too much impact on our exchange rate, right? You will use what you get from the export to pay the importer directly, right? So the money itself not change a lot. But for the financial account, right, every transactions involve what? Involve the currency, right? Involve the money, right? So the financial account can be very influential to our exchange rate movement, right? For example, if you want to buy the stock, right, from the EU, Europeans, right? So you must to use the euro, right, for every transactions, right? This one should be down mark to the market, right? Mark to the market. So every time involve what? Involve the exchange rate, right? Transfer, right? So that's very important. We know which account will determine our exchange rate movement, especially in the short term. Okay, so you can see our current account is not affecting our exchange rate a lot, right? So how can we use our current account, right, to do some analysis? You can see here, right? In the long term, if the countries run persistent current account deficits, right, they always see their currency depreciate over time, right? Why deficit can cause the currency depreciate? Let me show the examples, right? For example, right, if you incur trade deficit, right, what happened to your current account? You have the what? You have the more import, right, than what? Than export, right? That's why you have what? Current account, what? Deficit, right? So if you have the more import than export, what happened to your currency, right? So you need to pay the foreign currency for your import, right? So the demand of what? The demand of your domestic currency is what? Is going down, right? And the demand for the foreign currency is going up, right? So that's why causing what? Causing the currency, right? Current account deficit, right? FX means the foreign change. So if your domestic currency depreciate, right? Depreciate, right? Then what happened to your trade deficit afterward? You can see here, right? If the domestic currency depreciate, right, your goods in the domestic market, the price of the goods, right, in your country is going down, right? If the price getting cheaper and cheaper, your export will become what? More competitive, right? More competitive, right? So your export, right, because the price going down, right? Your export should what? Should goes up, right? Then the import will what? Will going down, right? In such case, you can say this one will improve what? Will improve your trade deficit, right? With your export going up, import going down, right? Your trade deficit will reduced, right? That's our, current account deficit can cause a change in our what? In our trade deficit, right? In the future, right? Let me show you another thing, right? Maybe you not pay too much attention on this part before, right? You can see here. In our economics, right, we study what? We study the analysis, use the what? Use our price and quantity analysis, right? Called demand and supply curve, right? So this is our demand curve, right? Demand curve. And you can see we study a special, terms in economics called elasticity of what? Of demand. Elasticity of demand. And for the demand curve, not every part with the same elasticity of demand, right? You can see here, right? For this dot, elasticity of demand equal to 1, right? And this part, elasticity of demand is more than 1, right? And this part, elasticity of demand is less than 1, right? It's less than 1, right? So be careful, right? Based on our previous analysis, we're assuming when the price of the domestic goods, right, going down, right, your export will what? Will going up, right? Will reduce your trade deficit. But does that always happen? Actually, it will be also what? It's also sensitive, right? To what? To the elasticity of what? Demand of your exporting and importing goods, right? Let me show you this one here, right? For example, right? For this part, right? For this part, right? When the elasticity demand is more than 1, right? What happened? So when the price goes up, right? Actually, the people will reduce more consumption because this price is too expensive for them, right? They're not willing to buy this one anymore. So revenue will what? Going down, right? But if the price, right, going down, right, people are very what? Very sensitive to the price cut, right? So they will buy a lot more, right? The revenue will going up, right? It's for this part, right? Then for this part, elasticity of demand less than 1, right? So means the demand of the goods are inelastic, right? So when the price goes up, people will still buy it, right? The revenue will going up, right? If the price going down, right? People also will reduce the, will, when price going down, right? People is not very sensitive, right, to the price cut, right? So they will still consume the same quantity, right? Revenue will going down, right? So you can say for different elasticity of demand, actually will get a different impact on our revenues, right? So we can incorporate this analysis, right, to our, starting of the trade deficit, right, based on our currency depreciate while the trade deficit might continue, right? So let me incorporate this part to our analysis. So if our domestic currency, right, depreciate, what happened, right? Depreciate because our trade deficit, right? Because our currency depreciate, what happened? You can see here, right? If the price of export, right, should be what? Should going down, right? The currency depreciate, right? The price is going down, right? If the price going down, what happened? Actually, there are what? There are two situations, right? Two situations, right? For example, if elasticity demand, right, of your export goods, right, is more than one, what happened? While the price going down, right? People are very sensitive to the price curve, right? So they will buy what? They will buy much more, right? So our export will going up, right? So our total what? Our total, revenue of export will going what? Going up, right? So this is based on the elasticity of demand, right? More than one, right? People are very sensitive to price cut, right? However, right? However, if the elasticity, is inelastic, right? So even you cut the price for export, right? The people will still holding the same consumptions, right? So the quantity will be still, very robust. Your revenue of export, right, can even going down, right? So this is the case for elasticity of demand, less than one, or you can say inelastic, right? Of course, right, we have special situations, right? Situations when when elasticity of demand, right, equal to one, right? So when the price cut, right, the increased quantities of the demand of export will just happen to cut the change of what? Price. So revenue will be what? Will be not change, right? Not change, right? So there are three situations, right, based on our elasticity of demand for what? For export, right? So if the export demand elasticity is very inelastic, actually, if the price going down for export because the currency depreciate, will not reduce your what? Will not reduce your, trade deficit, but it can actually on opposite, right, to reduce your export revenue, right? So only these situations will be improve your what? Trade deficit, right? Be careful, right? As our topics we not extended, right, in the previous lecture. So now I want to get more deep insight and how this one works, right, on our exchange rate market. Next topic, right, we study in the midterm is called what? Is the forward discount or premium, right? Forward discount and premium, right? We have our calculations, right? To check what's the change of the forward based on the spot price, right? For example, if 1 month forward rate is EUR to USD, right, 1.2468. If we see this quote means what? For €1, right, you get 1.2468 US dollars, right? And then you also observe, right, the spot rate on market is 1.25, right? You can see here, right, 1 month forward rate, right, is less than our spot rate. So we have a forward what? Discount, right? What's the discount in a percentage, right? We can use our calculations, right? 1.2468 minus 1.2500 over what? Over 1.2500, the spot one, right? Times 100%. That's our forward discount, right? In a percentage, right? And we also can use the difference directly, right? Not use the percentage, but use the difference directly. For example, our forward discount will be 1.2468, right? That's 1 month forward minus the spot rate, right? So you can see the difference is negative, right? Negative means what? Means our forward discount, right? Means the forward offer you a rate, right? Less than what? Than the spot rate, right? Our currency depreciate, right? For the euros, right? For the euros, you get less dollars in 1 month later, right? Based on today's market. Let's say one questions. Assume that bid offer for spot and forward are shown in the below tables, right? You can see the US dollars to the euro exchange rate in these tables, right? And then based on this quote, that means for €1 equal to how much dollars, right? And we have the 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months what? Forward. The 3 months forward bid rate, right, would be based on a bid for both the spot and the forward rate, right? So what is the 3 months forward rate, right, based on this table? You can see here, right? For 3 months bid and 3 months forward, we can match this quote, right, with our spot rate, right? And this is the, forward discount or premium, right? So if you see the minus means the forward take out discount, right? Based on the spot rate, right? So the 3 months forward take our discount from our spot rate with what? With the 15.9 for the bid and 15.3 for the ask, right? So what is the bid? Bid will be 1.3549, right? And this is minus, right? So minus 15.9. And we know our points, right? Is the 0.0001, right? So 1 times what? 0.0001, right? So you can see here, right? For the bid price for 3 months forward will be 1.3549, right? Minus 0.00159, right? So we can do the calculations for equal to 1.3533, right? 1. And this for the bid, right? For the ask, same, right? Will be 1.3651, right? Minus 15.3, right? Times 0.0001, right? So we have the 1.36, right? And the 7, 10 minus 3 is 7, right? And we have the 10 minus 5 will be 5, right? So 1.36, 5, and we have the 4 minus 1 equal to 3, right? 1.36357, right? That's for the ask, right? This for the bid. Okay, so that's for the forward bid and forward ask, right, based on our premium and the discount, right? We will adding this change, right, to our base quote, right, to check what's the forward quote, right? Now we study something, right, for the last chapters, right, we covered before the midterm is the what? Is interest rate parity and purchasing power parity, right? For covered interest parity, so we have the, the formula, right? Forward rate to a spot rate equal to a 1 plus exchange rate x, right? Exchange rate is the x over y, right? So our formulas will be forward rate over spot rate equal to 1 plus interest rate in the Rx, right? Divided by 1 plus interest rate in the Y country, Y. And you can do some simple operations, right? We got our change of our exchange rate, right? Change of exchange rate equal to what? Equal to the Rx minus Ry, right? That's our formulas, right? So our interest differential is equal to the forward differentials, right? So if the x has a higher interest rate than y, and this one will be what? Will be positive, right? So our forward differential will be also what? Will be also positive. That means for the same 1 unit of the y currency, right? You get what? You get more x currency, right, in the future. So our x currency is what? Is depreciate, right? Then y currency is what? Is appreciate, right? If our interest rate differential is positive, right? If the Rx, right, more than Ry, right? So our F minus S over S is going up, right? It's positive, right? So it means our, forward rate, right, is more than spot rate, right? So our X is depreciate, right? Y is what? Y is appreciate, right? So that's our count rate interest rate parity. And this is a parity, right, based on arbitrage relationship, right, we show in class, right? We borrow risk-free interest, right, in a domestic country X, right? Then we, swap this X currency into the Y currency, right? Then put the money into the Y country, right, to get interest in the Y country. Finally, we will use our forward rate, right, to swap this Y currency to the X country, right? And if there's no arbitrage opportunities, right, then the equation should be held, right, in this formula, right? If you forget this arbitrage we show in class, let me also help you to review a little bit, right? So we can, borrow the money directly in a domestic country, right? X, right? So we can get 1 plus Rx in a X country, right? This is the principal, this is interest, right? And now we swap this money, right, into what? Into the Y country, right? Into the Y country, right? So we will divide by S, right? That's how much money we can get in the Y country, right? Use the spot rate, right? And we put this money in the Y country to get interest, right? And after you finish the what? Investment after 1 year, you will swap the money back into the X currency by times what? Times the forward rate, right? Forward rate is what? Is F, right? Why we call this one as covered interest rate parity? Cover means what? Means if you want to reduce what? Reduce exposure to the foreign exchange rate market, right? You can basically, sign a contract of the forward and beginning, right? So on the time 0, you already sign this contract F, right? So you already log what you will get, right, after 1 year. So that's why we call what? Cover interest rate parity, right? You already cover the exchange rate risk by signing a forward contract, right? So this one because you already signed a contract, right? And you are supposed to have no arbitrage opportunities, right? If the two market are what are are in a no arbitrage conditions, right? So this one should be equal, should be always what? Always hold, right? Right? So that's you can see what we studied in the before, right? Should be always hold, right? So if you have $100, right, to do investment, for example, right, you can put $100, right, in the US market, right, to get interest rate, right, times 1 plus R dollar, right, or you can what? You can put this money, right, in the EU, right, to get interest in the Europeans, right, by what? By the $100, right, or what? Over spot rate, right, then times what? Times 1 plus the R EU, right? It's the euros, right? So we have euros, right? Then we will times the what? Fault rate, right? So this is in the EU, right? And this is in the US. If there's no arbitrage opportunities, right? These two should be always hold like we just showed, right? So you can equate these two, terms, right? We have the 100 times 1 plus a dollar, right, equal to the 100 over S times 1 plus a euro, right, times the fault rate, right, this one will be cancelled out, right, so 1 plus a dollar, right, equal to 1 plus a euro, right, you divide this part to here, right, we have F over S, right, so that's our arbitrage, right, no arbitrage conditions hold, right, we actually get these formulas, right? With a little bit operations, we also solve what? This one, right? You solve this one, right? This means the fault differential will equal to interest rate differentials, right? So that's our covered interest rate parity, right? So you should know how this one works out, right? If you have the interest rate offered in the two countries, right? How can we determine the fault rate, right? You can use this equation to solve it. So covered interest rate parity, right? Or you can see the covered interest rate parity conditions sometimes will be not always hold in a real market, right? In that case, we have what? We have the covered interest rate arbitrage opportunities, right? Will emerge, right? How can we, determine what's the potential, right? Potential gains, right? If you take this arbitrage, right, opportunities, we can do a difference, right, between the two countries, right? One's in our domestic country, one's in your foreign country, right? And we check a difference. If the difference is not equal to 0, right, means you actually has what? You actually have opportunities to get what? You get arbitrage, right, profit, right? So let me show you how to use this one, right? For example, right, if F over S not equal to this one, right, suppose this one is bigger, right, what happened? Then you times the 1 plus Ry, right, to this side, right? So you can see we have the 1 plus Rx less than what you get in a foreign country, right? So you can what? Because interest rate is lower in the domestic X, right? So you will borrow X currency in the domestic market, right? Then lending the money to the foreign country Y to get a higher interest, right? In such case, your profit will be the difference between these two, right? So it will be the FOS times 1 plus RY minus what? 1 plus RX. That's your profit, right? You borrow the low interest in a country X, than lending the money out to the Y country to enjoy a higher interest, right? That's your profit. That's your profit. In opposite, right? If you have the, interest higher in what? In the X country, right? So you will borrow the Y currency, right? Lending the money to the X country, right? So you will get a profit in this format, right? You can say for both, conditions, right? You don't use your own money, right? You borrow money from the low interest country, then lending the money out to the high interest rate country, right? So that means there's what? Arbitrage opportunities, right? You don't use your own money, but you borrow low interest and lending high interest at the same time, right? Simultaneously, right? You don't use your own money, so this why we call what? Arbitrage opportunities, right? You can say in the following lectures, right, for the money market derivative, we will also mention these arbitrage definitions a lot, right? So you must know what's these definitions about, right? You should what? You should always buy low and sell high at the same time, right? So you will not use any penny of your own money, right? You borrow the low cost, right, investment and then lending out, right, with a higher, return investment, right? So you get a risk-free return, right? This is called arbitrage opportunities, right? Let's see some questions, right? So these questions are investors, right? Investors examines the foreign rate quote, right, for the Brazilian, right, bills, and also what? And also